Welcome to Golf Talk. Today we're going to be talking about the new scorecards on all three courses, and we're going to have a maintenance update of the spring to summer transition. Stay tuned. I'm your host, Pat White. Joining me again today, as usual, is Casey Flenniken, Director of Golf. Welcome. And Wells McClure, Director of Course Maintenance. Let's get right into the scorecard, Casey.
Okay.
It's going to take us a long time to get through this.
Yep.
We had scorecard updates in the past. I can remember two.
Okay.
We've also had major work done on our bunkers. We've moved tee boxes and other Wells has removed trees and limbs, and the courses have changed. What does that do to the course rating and the slope rating when we make those changes?
Yeah, so we had what we would call a dated rating for our course ratings and our slope ratings. So we brought in an expert in golf course rating, over 25 years experience across 4 or 5 different states, and very well-rounded individual, and he knew a lot about what he was doing. And then talking to him, not only the things you mentioned as far as some of the bunkering changes, new tees we may have added, but also, you know, the trees that are mature now are bigger, right? So they deflect more golf balls. Our greens are definitely, they get better every year, right? And so with faster green speeds, firmer, more healthier turf, I guess would be a great term, makes it a little harder on the putting surface.
Yeah, I guess that's the word. The natural areas.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's, you know, and so a culmination of that, and it gets down to what's called R&R, rough and recoverability, right? And so you take when you hit your tee shot, if you hit it in the rough, well, what's the chances you're going to make a par based on your handicap?
For me, none.
Right. So with the ratings, we saw a lot of the tees, our existing tees, actually, the rating showed the golf courses are a little harder than what they were previously rated, which we agree with. So with that, we were also able to take about 5,000 rounds of data from our players, our membership, instead of a golf advisory committee and Wells sitting in a room and kind of guessing what hole do you think's hard, what hole do you think's hard. We had a hard data.
Real numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A great example was number 12 at Kahiti. We all know it's hard, but I think it was ranked 9th hardest hole on the golf course, and it's the 4th hardest hole.
Right.
And it truly is.
It is.
It's a 3-tiered green uphill par 3. So having that data and being able to directly insert that, and then also a new trend, and we kind of got on the forefront of it, is, you know, what tees do you play?
White mostly.
Yep. So if I'm playing the black tees and you're playing the white tees and player 3's playing the orange tees, we're not playing the same golf courses.
No, so now you're getting into hole ratings.
Correct.
So that's changed the handicap per hole on 3 golf courses.
It has. So some holes rank the same.
Right.
And it's not necessarily, especially if you're playing the white tees, then you have a different hole-by-hole handicap than somebody playing the white/orange combo course.
Right. We're going to get into that combo in a minute.
And so when you're doing that, you might be playing on hole, I don't know, on hole 10 at Tenasseee, you might be playing the white tees, and the combo course could be from the same tee as somebody else who's playing the white tees. So on that particular hole, you might have pushed you up to white or forward to orange, and the stroke differential might be changing, but it's not about how hard the hole is. Sometimes it was about how much easier other holes were.
Right.
And that's why it varies. And we feel like we got it right, and the scorecard's really clean if you look at the top of it.
Well, let's stop there for a second. So now that you've gone in and changed the slope rating and the course rating, now you've changed each rating for each hole.
Correct.
Well, if you change that, the next thing you've got to do is you've got to change the scorecard.
That's right. You know, and our scorecard was a little dated, and so we updated it and chose to do it at all 3 golf courses.
Right.
We have taken the hole locations that used to be at the top, and if you remember, it was kind of confusing where it was. It would say hole number 4 for the green location right next to number 3, the actual yardage. So it was a little confusing. So in order to do that and add the 3 combo courses, we removed the whole location grid from the scorecards because we utilize Club Cars technology. It's called Visage, and we use that technology, and the whole location's listed on the GPS. We'll have laminated whole location sheets for our walkers and our private card owners to grab in each golf shop. So just utilizing our technology as that continues to expand and grow, we're able to really make a better experience and a more fair competition for players competing from different sets of tees.
So now you've mentioned combo courses 2 or 3 times. Why would a golfer want to play a combo course?
Sure. So I think you'll see people as it's a two-way street. I know a lot of ladies in particular, due to ladies clinics that I taught for 7 or 8 years, right, who came into the village playing the yellow tees, and now they play the green tees.
Sure.
Right? Or they're yellow tee players, and that 1,000-yard jump to the green might be a little much. So let's gap that.
Right.
Let's, instead of you're playing a golf course that is 4,500 yards versus a golf course that's 5,500 yards, let's find that 5,000-yard mark. So select on number 1, you might play the green tees. On 2, you play the yellow. 3, the yellow, and you work through and select. So on longer holes, we try to go to the yellow tee. On shorter holes, we try to go to the green tee.
I've heard you in private conversations before mention tenacity number 10.
Yep.
And for those just watching, thinking, what is that hole? That's pine trees on the right, houses on the right, lake on the left, dog leg left, kind of driving downhill and then uphill to the green, tucked in between the lake and the house.
It is. That's correct.
You've talked about before, if I play that from the black tees, the blue tees, the white tees, it's totally different than the orange.
It is.
Yeah.
Now, how did that change, and why would I want to play from the orange in a combo course on that hole versus the white or the blue tees?
Sure. So the data showed that the white tees, it was the 10th hardest hole on the golf course for players from the orange tee. Well, what was that, 70 yards and up there on top of the hill?
Yeah, at least, maybe more.
Yeah, so 70, 80 yards, and players just hitting it down into the bottleneck.
Taking the lake out of play.
Lake's pretty much out of play. Well, from the tees across the lake, I would argue that's probably one of the hardest tee shots on the entire golf course at Tenacity. So for players from the white tee, it was the 10th hardest hole. I'm sorry, for players from the orange tee, it was the 10th hardest hole. From the white tee, it was the 2nd hardest hole, ranking behind number 7. So, or number 9, I'm sorry. So, when you are playing from 80 yards and forward from somebody else, you're effectively not playing the same golf course.
Right.
Playing the same facility, but the holes are totally different. So having different hole handicaps from different tees is now going to allow us to have more fair competition. The combo tees, to recap that, is a great way for players who might need to play a longer tee, or probably the majority of players who might need to start playing a shorter tee, the Play It Forward initiative.
Sure.
We talked about, it's not about how far the tee shot goes, it's about how far your approach shot is.
Absolutely.
If you're getting driver 3-wood to a majority of holes and you're not getting there, it's time to move up. And
That's
I think that filling the gap and not just having 6 tees that are varying every 700, 800 yards or 1,000 yards differential, filling those gaps. So now we haven't changed the colors of our tee markers. We still have the 6 normal color tee markers, but we've built combo courses utilizing the 6.
And that'll be on the scorecard.
It's on the scorecard, and that's live and ready to go.
You just brought up something too. So, being a guy, moved from the blue tees in the old days when I played, or the black, up to the white, has been kind of a attack on my masculinity.
Sure.
But it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, it is.
And isn't that what it's about?
It is. It's about having fun, and I think that the game
And the handicap adjusts for that between competitors.
That's exactly right. If you're somebody who's playing the white tees and you want to go try the white-orange combo, or maybe you've skipped it all and you've gone to orange, I'd say you're shooting lower scores. You're going to have more fun, and at the end of the day, I think if there's an old-school tournament where you started on your tees, and if you made a birdie, then you moved back a tee box.
Yeah.
And if you made a bogey, you actually went up, and the
that.
majority of players would end up on the yellow tees.
Yeah.
They're still not making pars and birdies like you would think, because the game's hard.
Yeah. Anything else to add before I've got a little comment I want to make wrapping this up?
Yeah, the final thing is through the USGA and our GEN handicap system.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up.
Those handicaps are all live now.
Yeah.
So it's in, you go to your GEN app and you can go ahead and load it. We did catch, I'll go ahead and tell our viewers, we caught one mistake at Kahiti.
All right.
The course rating is listed as 68.4 and it's actually 66.4.
Okay.
So that's in our next print run. That'll be fixed. But that's the only mistake on 3 golf courses, so we're thankful for that.
But it's not the whole rating; it's the
just
overall.
the course rating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The slope on the orange tees
All right.
is still 119.
During my time, I know we've changed the scorecards at least twice. I'm thinking 3 times. That's in the last 18 years. You,
Yeah.
how many times have you
I don't
changed?
remember a scorecard change.
Well, we swapped. The last one I think was swapping the sides at Tenacity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
that
when
one.
That was probably 2015.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was before. I
Okay.
think it was January of
Okay.
16.
So it was a while ago.
Yep.
We golfers had to go through a change,
Yep.
and we generated our comfort level, which is today's scorecard. There's some people that are going to be uncomfortable with this change,
Sure.
but give it a summer.
Yep.
Figure it out. Play the combo courses. Play the tees that you want to play. Have a good time. Compete with your fellow competitors, and we'll get used to it, won't we?
That's right. If you look at a scorecard, we did this on purpose. It says black, blue, blue-white combo, white.
Yeah.
And then it says handicap.
Right.
That's the whole handicap. Then you have 4 spaces to write scores.
Right.
Then in the middle of the card, it'll have the white/orange combo course, orange, the green-yellow combo course in yellow.
Very good.
That'll have a handicap. So that's where you can tell, and then it'll have 4 spaces below it to write more scores. So
Yeah.
it's also got 8 spaces instead of 6.
Well, you know what my biggest problem is going to be?
What's that?
It has nothing to do with what we just talked about. So when you send me off the backside, I always score on the front side.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Common mistake.
Yeah. Wells, Casey just talked our ear off.
Yep.
It's your turn.
It's gonna be hard to follow.
The floor is yours.
I don't think so. Course maintenance is a really, really big job.
It is.
It changes, but us golfers don't always see what's going on. And
Yep.
this is a great opportunity for you and your team to tell us what to expect. You're transitioning from spring to summer.
Yep.
You've got labor issues that you're about to go through. You're going to have some employee recognition, I hope.
Yep.
Get us updated.
Yep. Well, we'll start out with the most important part of the golf course that everyone remembers, and that's putting greens.
Yep.
Yep.
We're about 10 to 12 weeks out from our spring aerification. It always takes really 6 to 8 weeks to get them grown in, and then you can't just flip a switch and get them back rolling like we like for them to. So it takes another 2 to 3 weeks to get them back, kind of in tournament condition, I guess, or what we expect for daily play.
Yeah.
Which, in our mind, if they're 10 to 11 feet on a daily basis, just off a single mow or a single roll, that's kind of right where we want them. And then if we have the MGA or an outside event, Knox Open qualifier, something like that, we don't have to do a whole lot to them to get our speed back. So the greens are perfect. I mean, I was out at Kahiti for the Knox Open qualifier, and then I played there this past weekend. Spent a lot of time, obviously, at Tenacity, and Tellico yesterday helping with some sod. And the greens are phenomenal at all 3 golf courses.
I agree.
But being 12 weeks out, all of our holes have kind of sealed up. Our turf canopy's getting really tight. And so we're kind of to that point where you may see us starting to open them back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
People think, well, the greens are perfect. Why are you going to poke a hole in them? Well, we still got to poke a hole to get water to infiltrate down into the root zone, allow for gas exchange and oxygen to get down into the root zone. So that's something that you'll see we'll probably do every 4 to 6 weeks through the remainder of the summer. I know Kahiti and Tellico are going to wait till after member guests.
That's a real quick healing process.
Yeah,
too,
I mean,
isn't
you
it?
really don't even notice it. You may see the little holes. You may notice a difference in firmness because it will soften them up a little bit. But the benefit it gives to our root system underneath the surface of the turf is tremendous. So, we try to do that every 4 to 6 weeks until we'll probably do that once in June, again into July, and then depending on the weather and stress levels, we may do it again in August. If not, we'll just wait until the weather cools off. But can't say enough about the greens. John North at Tellico and his team have got them dialed in, ready for member guests. I was blown away at the quality of the greens that Jordan had for the Knox Open qualifier. I mean, they were unreal.
They were.
I mean, I got a feeling some of those guys went to Holston Hills and were like, man, greens at Kahiti were pretty good, you know. I mean, it's not really what they may expect out of a qualifier site, but I mean, kudos to Jordan and his team. They were dialed in and really good. But moving on from that, kind of the word of the day or the word of the month of May was sod. Sod.
Yeah.
Back towards the end of April, we kind of repaired all the areas around our greens, kind of our most important stuff that we maybe have lost over the winter, whether it be due to traffic or just a low height of cut. winter kill, whatever you may call it. And we didn't have a whole lot, 5 or 6 pallets per course to get those areas repaired. But since then, we've done quite a bit of sod work. Since we didn't have a lot to do on the course, we had some extra money where we could start repairing areas, mostly winter cart traffic injury.
Right.
So for Tenacity, number 6, that area just past the LT, it's where everyone turns onto the fairway. It's hard pan, irrigation coverage is not real great. So we were finally able to take care of that. Some on 10, same thing, where carts get back onto the cart path from the fairway when we do let them in that fairway, which we started today. So, you know, kind of we were able to spend a little money doing some out-of-the-way areas. I know Jordan did a bunch in the rough, and then John was repairing some areas along cart paths.
Yeah, I saw John out the other day with a plug machine.
Yep, he was air
and a
finding some
scraper,
spots. Yep.
particularly under the trees on 11.
On 11, yep. So we were air finding some stuff. And when we can do that, you can harvest those plugs and put those down in some areas, and you can even get some turf recovery from that. So, I mean, again, our teams at all 3 courses really work together. We always say we don't, although you may be stationed at Tenacity or stationed at Tokwa or stationed at Kahiti, at the end of the day, you work for Tellico Village, and you go where you're needed. So we were able to share staff, and yesterday we were over there at Tokwa, and we did 15 pallets in about 2 hours. So it was really good. You know, we were able to kind of repair some of those spots, and now we're kind of looking ahead to the summer and what to expect.
Let me interrupt you right here, and let's go back to Casey for a ruling.
Okay.
All right. I'm in a brown spot. I'm in bare dirt. I'm in a place that's just been sodded. I should treat that as if I was in a tournament and people had run a white line around it, ground under repair, shouldn't I?
Yeah, so a sod seam, you're always going to get relief from a sod seam. It's always a local rule in any event. And the way sod kind of works is when they first lay it, it's probably not ideal that they want you to hit out of it and then get a couple weeks to get it to take, and then you can start moving it out of the seam and actually play it from the new turf. So if it's brand new sod, you'd want to take it out of there and go to the nearest
couple
point.
of club links, is that what it is?
Yeah, well, you find the nearest point outside of that sod area.
No closer to the hole.
Yeah, and then you kind of you can go 1 club length either way, kind of work your pie chart there and drop from your knee and play.
Sorry, Wells. Back to you.
Nope, you're good. And you know, talking about all the sod we did, another word for the month of May that we will remember in 2025 is rain.
Yeah.
We had a lot of rain in May, and it was cool too. It was not warm. Typically, our average high temperature for May is around 79. Our average high for the month of May this year is 75. Average rainfall, we'd normally average 8 to 9 days of rain. We had 14 days of rain. Average amounts in May, it's about 4.5 inches, and we had 10 to 11 inches. So a lot of rain in May, cool weather.
And you've talked before about Bermuda doesn't really like cool weather.
No, yeah, we need daytime temperatures in the mid 80s and nighttime temperatures in the mid 60s. If it was like that year round, our Bermuda would be happy, our bent grass would be happy, and our golfers would be happy.
And you'd be happy.
And I'd be happy. Life is easy when it's 80s and 60s. 90s and 70s, Bermuda's loving life, but our bent grass tends to start to struggle. 70s and 50s, our bent grass is loving life, but our Bermuda grass is not really there. So since about the first week of May, we've been 5 to 8 degrees below average for our soil temperature, below the 5 and 10 year average. So although the grass, you know, greened up really good this year, we had a good end of March, a pretty nice April, but we didn't have any late frosts, so that helped us. So the courses looked green, but we weren't getting any lateral movement in our Bermuda grass, which we gotta have. So finally, our soil temperatures are right around 72, 73, which is perfect for Bermuda to really start growing. We mowed 3 times this week, so I think you'll start seeing some improvements there.
Well, I overheard you earlier today mention something that I thought was just phenomenal.
Yep.
And you mentioned rain and you've mentioned temperature. You just started watering, didn't you?
We did. First time in
8 weeks.
7. First week of April, second week of April.
Yeah.
First time we've.
That's amazing that we've had that much rain.
We haven't run any water on greens. We haven't had a hose in our hand other than to water sod. Haven't watered the golf course, the whole golf course, I don't think once this year. So, you know, we're saving some money there on electricity to run the pumps.
Well, then that stunts the Bermuda, so you've still got to mow because it's growing. But as I recall, you get into a staffing issue, or you need staffing during the summer months more than any other time.
We do.
How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing great now, thankfully. We've reached out and kind of started building a relationship with some folks at Sequoia High School. We've reached out to Loudon and Lenore City as well. So each golf course has hired 3 to 4 younger local kids,
Yeah.
and they're working out great. So we're fully staffed there. And then our villager staff at all 3 courses, and it varies in the number between 5 and 8
Yeah.
guys that work 12 hours-ish a week. And our villager staff are huge. I mean, they're there long before the high school kids can show up.
Yeah.
And in August, when the high school kids go back to work, we're still full bore mowing, blowing, preparing the golf course like it's
Yeah.
June or July. And we've just lost 4 guys. So thank goodness for our villager staff that helps
So
us
if you're a
out.
Tellico Village resident and you have always wanted to run a big piece of machinery, they can come see you, right?
Well,
No?
they can
Yeah.
come see me. I don't know if they'll run a big piece of machinery.
Experience.
Yeah, I mean, usually, and we like to hire guys that like to play golf,
Yeah.
which they make excellent course setup guys, changing cups, moving
Yeah.
tees, doing things like that. And we've had some that we will train on equipment,
Yeah.
depending. I know we had a guy last year that worked for us for a couple years, and he flew fighter jets and helicopters for the military.
Yep.
And then after that, he flew commercial airliners. So it's like, you can run a greens mower.
Yeah, I
And he
think
did
so.
great. Yeah, he did great. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, our village staff is a huge help for us, and they've
Okay.
been great. And not only, seasonals and villagers that work for us, but we've got great full-time staff across all 3 courses. And this year, I want to give a special shout out to an employee that's been at Tenacity since literally the doors opened. He was there when
Wow.
the shop was built. He is our equipment technician, Carl Shaw. I feel like I can do most everybody's job on the golf course pretty well. If someone were to walk out, I feel like myself, my assistant, we can fill in and fill the gap. But I'm no mechanic. I can, do a few simple things. But
So you can drive a big piece of equipment, but
Yeah.
you can't fix it.
it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
But when it comes time to take apart an engine or rebuild a hydraulic motor, that's a skill that our equipment technicians have. And Carl has been here. This year will be his 30th year at Tellico.
Wow.
Congratulations, Carl.
Yeah, Carl is, and he is phenomenal. And you look at the golf course and how good everything looks, and a lot of people want to pat the superintendent on the back, or the crew on the back, which they should.
Yeah.
But if that equipment doesn't run, or that fairway mower that has 5 reels and one reel is a 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch higher or lower than the other 4, it's not going to look good.
Yeah.
So I mean, our equipment technicians at all 3 golf courses need all the praise in the world, because they really help it shine.
Yep.
We as golfers don't really pay attention to that. I mean, I see my fellow golfers stop all the time and say thanks, what a great course, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to the people in the pro shops. That's who we're dealing with. But but then you got Carl and his team that are sitting out there working,
Yep.
keeping your maintenance equipment to do all of the great things we're talking about here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just can't be done without a Carl.
No, and with guys like Carl, I mean, in the village, we purchase equipment. We don't lease.
Right.
Some golf courses in the area, they'll get a whole new fleet of equipment every 5 years.
Mhm.
Well, it's easy to keep equipment that's 4 years old running pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're running tractors that were purchased when Tenacity was built, and they're still run.
Yeah.
We're running mowers and greens mowers and fairway mowers much longer than the average golf course that turns them over every 5 years. So we're really trying to get the most out of the asset that the village purchases,
Yeah.
but without people like Carl or Kim Duffy at Kahiti or Jonathan Fry at Toqua,
Yeah.
we'd be spending a lot more money on new equipment.
Well, big shout out of thanks to all of those guys on
Yeah.
your staff.
Absolutely.
Anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's it. We're just rocking and rolling, ready for summer. So.
Very good. Casey, last month we had videos on the demo day.
We did.
I think you've got some more.
We do. We've got a couple more of our golf professionals we'd like to showcase.
Very good.
As you know from last month, the videos kind of talk about what not only they were doing at demo day, but what they do in our operations.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go ahead and show the video right now.
We're out here today at our all vendor demo day. It's something we do annually. We always do it the first Friday in April, kind of the start of golf season for us. We've got a great day, probably the best day we've had in 4 or 5 years for this event. All right, as we make our way down the range here, we've made it to the Titleist tent. I'm not only with the Titleist staff member, I'm a Titleist staff member myself, great company. I'm with Lucas Forstrom. He's our head professional at our Tenacity Golf Club facility. Lucas, tell us a little bit about Titleist and what's going on here today?
Yeah, so Titleist, last year and then even this spring, come out with the GT line of drivers. So starting last summer, going into fall, GT 2 and 3 came out, and then this spring, the GT 1 came out, and it's, all the models have been a huge hit,
Yep.
in Tellico, on tour, wherever else you look. It's probably, the hottest driver in terms of buzz, that's come out in a while. And it's the hottest driver in terms of the ball coming off the face.
Absolutely.
People are picking up huge amounts of distance, myself included. You can attest to that.
I'll vouch for that. Yep.
Bayou.
I don't know about that one. But so for people who weren't able to get out today, what should they do?
Yeah, contact me, L Forstrom, LFORSTROM @tvpoa.org. Send me an email, and we'll set you up with either a personal fitting or I have Titleist come out once a month, whether it's at Tokwa or Kahiti, one of those driving ranges. We're there once a month. So I know we've even seen a lot of people come by today, that didn't have appointments, that some were able to get on TrackMan and some weren't. So if you're one of those people that, we've been a popular spot today. So if you weren't able to get in and get, really good numbers, data over your current equipment, sign up next month for the fitting, or come see me and I'll do it personally with you. We've got we keep a bunch of stock stuff at Tenacity and Tokwa, so we can find what you need.
Yeah, and they're utilizing TrackMan technology today, and we've got one of those at Kahiti and one of those here on site at Tokwa, so we're able to pretty much give them the same experience they would get at a demo day. Obviously, we're fortunate enough to have Trey Roy, our tech expert with Titleist, with us. But Lucas, outside of just demo days and club fittings, tell us about the leagues you're a part of here in Tellico Village.
Yeah, we're getting ramped up right now. I mean, it's the first week of April here today. So, Ladies League started this week for myself. So I'm the liaison for the Ladies 18-hole league on Tuesdays. So that's where I'm at on Tuesdays. Of course, that rotates around the 3 golf courses. So, gets me out to different golf courses as well. And then on Thursdays, I've got the New Villagers golf as well. And so that's more of a couples fun scramble league.
Yep.
Great opportunity for, people relatively new to the village to get out on our golf courses, meet some other people newer to the village, interact, find a group to play golf with,
absolutely.
and you play with somebody different every week. So you get to meet people. And that's a great thing that we do to get people involved in the community and in our golf program.
It's a big piece of the culture here, right? Just being able to play people or meet people to play golf with, have fun, meet outside of the golf course. Well, Lucas, I know you got a busy Titleist fitting day here, so thanks for everything you do. Thanks for joining us on Golf Talk. We'll see you soon. Well, we're here at our 5th and final vendor of All Vendor Demo Day, and with me, I have assistant golf professional at the Links at Kahiti, Mr. Jay Bergen. Jay, thanks for joining us on Golf Talk. Before we get going, a lot of people, our members, probably don't know, but you come from a little bloodline of PGA professionals.
Yes, I do. My dad's Cullen Bergen. He's in the Bear Chasers Colonel Mountain in Crossville, Tennessee. He's been a golf pro for at least 25 years now. He's been a head pro for 20 of them. So it was pretty obvious what my career was going to be.
That's awesome. And you're progressing quickly through the PGA program to become a PGA professional.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just got back from Texas from my level 2 seminar 2 weeks ago. So
it's
trying to push through it.
Mind-blowing place, isn't it?
The headquarters is unbelievable. It brings you back down to earth on exactly what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely.
And builds the confidence up.
Yeah, it's great. So today you're on staff with Ping.
Yes, sir.
Right, and so you're fitting some of our members here for Ping. So talk about what's Ping got going on in the golf world.
So Ping right now, we just launched in January our G440 product. We have new drivers, new irons. Driver-wise, we have the regular standard head, the Max. We also brought in the SFT, the Straight Fright Tech, and the LST, the low spin technology. The Max is the most standard head possible that every company's got. Most forgiveness. That's all it's going for. We're not going for distance with it. We're going for best spin rate, most forgiveness with it. The Straight Fight technology is more for the new beginner golfer. If you battle a slice like the baseball swing, us golf pros always make the joke about the Straight Flight technology is the one for you. Or if you're a little bit better of a player or you just have a higher spin rate, then the LST, the low spin head's gonna be more for you. We also just dropped the new 530 irons, the 730 irons as well. The 530 irons are more for a player look, but they are more forgiving than the average iron. And the 730 head is probably the most forgiving head you can get. So if you're getting up there with an age, the swing speed's dropping a little bit, our 730 head's the one for you. It's got the most forgiveness and the most distance with it.
Rick McCleese and I just talked about that. You know, how some lighter weight technology would help you get the golf ball in the air, go further, improve your game. So outside of ping and obviously our demo day today, what else do you do in Tellico Village? What are you in charge of? What's your job entail? Kind of tell us about your day to day.
Yeah, well, for one, like you said, I'm the assistant at Kahiti. I've been there for 3 years next month in May. I also run the HOA League. I've been doing that this is going on my third year now this year with it. And then I also just took over the Tellico Linksters and the LJ9 group for this year as well. So still trying to get used to those a little bit more, but I'm loving it so far. It's worked out great. So I also used to run Lady Linksters with Adam on the Tuesdays and MJ with Charles as well. So I've had a mix of all the leagues already.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great way to meet a lot of people too. Tellico is obviously a big place. Yeah. Well, Jay, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate everything you do.
Oh, thank you.
And if anybody today wasn't able to come out, how can they get a hold of you in order to maybe get fit?
Well, easiest way is to shoot me an email at J, just the letter J, Bergin, Burgin at tvpoa.org, or just call the Kahiti Pro Shop.
Awesome. Pro will let you get back to it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have reached our final professional here. We finally got you away from the fittings. Busy day.
It's been a busy day.
The head golf professional here at Tellico Golf Club, Mr. Adam Jacob. Adam, we've had the other golf pros kind of talk about the importance of fitting, and Rick touched on Callaway, but what we didn't talk about is another portion of the Callaway business, which is Odyssey putters. And I know you do well with that. So talk to our viewers on Golf Talk how important getting fit for a putter is.
Oh, it's huge. It's your most important club in the bag that people spend the least amount of time practicing and just grab one off the shelf.
Yeah.
So just like you spend time here getting fitting for that driver, you do the same thing with the putter. Depending on your height and where your arms hang, proper length, lie angles make a big difference from making that putt to blowing it by.
Yeah, Rick and I talked, and Jay a little bit touched on it, about some of the golf clubs we see as far as drivers, and you take the head cover off and it's a little shock how old it is, right? But the putters might be the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
You see some old putters that you know don't fit them, too light, too heavy, too much loft.
Right. And we just did a putter fitting or putter clinic Wednesday, and we talked about that and showed the different styles and the importance of it being a mallet to a blade and inserts and what they can all do, and people's minds were blown.
Yeah, so a little birdie named Lucas Forstrom told me in the office this morning that you and him, we don't know the date yet, but kind of maybe discussing an all-vendor putting day, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're actually, one will be coming out soon for Callaway. We're looking at April 15th, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, most definitely.
That'd be awesome. Get all the vendors, your Odysseys, your TaylorMades, your Scotty Camerons, your
Pings, and all that.
Everything. Yeah, that'd be
Absolutely.
great. So just outside of today, talk a little bit about the golf leagues you're in charge of, your day-to-day. What's that look like here?
Yeah, well, I'm at Toqua, so we got one of the busiest courses here. I work with the Lady Linksters, one of our biggest ladies leagues out there. And just between 250 plus people on the golf course and that on the range, this place is rocking.
It is.
You spoke, a slow day.
You spoke on Lady Linksters, but we've seen it, you and I. I mean, we've been here a while now, right? Yeah. How much that league's grown, and testament to you, right? But how much that league has really grown. And the ladies, they support it.
I've been with them for almost a decade, and we were 100 at max. Now we're at 250.
Wow.
Selling out every Tuesday.
Yep.
It's awesome. And we're just making golf fun.
It's all about fun, right?
No pressure. We make up our own rules. We do what we like. And we just go out there and have a good time with everybody.
If you get it in the bunker and you want to throw it out, hit it.
Whatever.
Right?
It don't matter. It's golf. It's all right. We're just out here to enjoy our beautiful golf courses, the great weather, and making new friends.
Awesome. Well, Adam, thanks for everything. We'll let you get back to it. I know you're busy.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here at Demo Day on Golf Talk.
Thanks for giving us those videos. We appreciate it very much. And let's go to you, stay with you.
Okay.
As usual, calendar of events.
Yep.
And if you got the numbers on the rounds that we've been playing this spring.
Yep. So the calendar, as you know, we are right in the thick of it right now.
Yeah.
In June, we'll have our Red-tailed Hawk Invitational, which is our member guest. That's June 11th through 14th.
Okay.
The 11th is the practice round, and the 12th through the 14th is the actual event. So it'll be 84 teams. of 2 men on each team, so 168 people.
Wow.
We'll have our on Friday night. We're going to have a big dinner at the yacht club with their choice of beef or chicken, and it's just a great celebration of the event and a great way to kind of showcase more than just the golf course, to go over and see the beautiful facility at the yacht club. And then as we move forward on Saturday, June 21st, is the Monroe County Animal Shelter event at Kahidi.
Right.
And then Saturday, June 28th, is the Smoky Mountain Surface Dogs event at Tellico, and that's always a huge event. And so looking forward to those. And our golf leagues are still in full swing, pun intended, if you will. We're busy. We're busy. The trend as far as rounds for the month of May was actually, we're starting to see, and Wells and I talked about this a little bit this morning, is we're seeing more 9-hole play than we are 18-hole play, especially afternoon. And so Wells brought up a good point. That could be because we were forced into so many cart path only days because of all the rain. So maybe some of our players just were like, I got to walk a lot in path only, so maybe I'll just play 9 holes. So I'm not sure what the trend is there.
One of the trends that I know the board has looked at, and you guys have looked at, is that we have a diverse group of people.
We do.
Moving here.
Yep.
Folks like me, 18 years, transitioning out of a lot of the amenities because of different reasons. And the people are coming in now looking to kayak and boat and golf, and maybe that's part of it too.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Our member 9-hole play is through the roof.
Yeah.
Right? And so our member 18-hole play is down a little bit, and our guest play is down 315 rounds, so year to date. We did okay in May with guest play, but anytime you have rain out weekends, it's not good for guest play, because that's normally our members actually play the most during the week, and we see more of the guests. But what that does tell me also is if your member 9-hole play is up, then the member's using the amenity, because the member has priority over guests to get the tee time. So they're using their amenity, and that's a positive for us. And so we'll continue to monitor it. But the golf courses are perfect.
Yeah.
So was there any other calendar events coming up? I know my granddaughters are looking forward to
in July. If we move into July, so we'll have the second week of July, as always, our junior golf camp. That's Monday, July 7th through Friday, July 11th. And
still spots available?
There are spots available.
Good.
Go to Tellico, sign up. They've got all the information there. You can sign up. It's a great week. They get, I think it's 5 or 6 hours of instruction. They get a great goodie bag. You just want them to fall in love with the game. I've had kids in that thing where you realize maybe the kid doesn't want to be there, and I've just given them a Sharpie and let them draw on a golf ball, and all of a sudden the next day they're excited to be there. So a great way to get young people into golf, and the staff does a great job.
Yeah. We appreciate both of you guys joining us again on Golf Talk, and we appreciate you in the audience watching. Make sure that you subscribe to TVN. You will not only get Golf Talk updates, but you'll get all the videos that are being done by clubs and organizations and staff in the Tellico Village. Make sure you hit that like button as well, and we'll see you next month.